Hello, everyone. This is Bhargav Reddy here, Regional Operations Director at APAC Assistance, joining you from Bangalore. I'm with you today with our director, Paul Quelia, joining us from Singapore. Today, we'll be discussing two of the assist issues in our roundup. First, in Thailand, red shirts have joined the anti-garment protests in Bangkok. And there's one more issue in Malaysia, wherein a massive port project was scrapped by the state government. Paul, would you please take us through these issues?
Yeah, sure. So another downturn in terms of the stability of Thailand, where the old UDD or the old red shirts, which was the pro-Thaksin group, are joining pro-democracy, where it's probably better titled anti-royalist, anti-establishment. They demonstrated yesterday in the AXA Road area. There are other protests developing. Of particular interest is that they're in typical Thai fashion. There's no rationality, there's no engagement. There's the establishment talking tough about utilising all laws, including lame and jest, and the democratic movement, which is probably not the apt word for it, as I mentioned, pro-change. It's really continuing to advocate where they want to have reforms from the royal family, kick out the Prime Minister that's managed to manage Thaksin and his political heritage out of Thailand, remembering, despite what people see on a cursory glance, that Thaksin's a man that got the popular vote. What they're missing is he also stole massive assets into his company name and was surrounded by an oligopoly that did illegitimate trades of businesses in a telecommunications deal with Singapore. So Thaksin's far from the angel. He pretends he's a master manipulator, and he's done very well in manipulating people that don't have a deep understanding. Now, that said, there are desperate needs for reform in Thailand. The reality is it's not going to happen, because once it starts to happen, Thailand's going to lose its flavour, and fundamentally the powers of the oligopoly and the establishment is such that they're not willing to let it go. Thailand, on the whole, what people are not noting and not seeing is people are, regardless of who is at the head of the royal family, they're very pro the monarch and the constitution of the monarchy. The linkage between the monarchy and the military family remains incredibly strong. And a majority of the silent Thais, which is the other 99.9% of people that aren't demonstrating, that's a very large figure. I just want to see some stability of economy. That's further compounded by COVID-19. So we expect further demonstrations, ongoing demonstrations. And of course, that'll be the challenge for Prayut and his government and the various security forces and agencies to manage it. Of course, people should be very careful about commenting on anything political, particularly if they're visitors in the country, and especially and more so on social media where there's a very strong intel presence. Okay, Bhargav, has that covered that off from Bangkok? Let's move on to Malaysia, shall we? Yeah, so basically what's occurred in Malaysia is finally the state government has scrapped a $10.5 billion US project that was basically going to place, its mission was to replace Singapore as a major trade hub. Now, the reality is that would be a bit like myself deciding I'm going to replace Ronaldo in the Portuguese soccer lineup, simply because he has two legs like I do, because Malacca is not as good a strategic location. It doesn't have as good governance. It's not as well managed. And as 1MDB scandal proved, unlike a lot of countries in Asia that try to mask corruption, it's so endemic that a leader of state managed to have a massive, we're talking in the billions of dollars in his personal bank account, and thought that he could just tell the ombudsman to tell people to go back to work and act as it's normal. There's obviously a lot of happening in East Asia today besides the two issues in Thailand. There's issues in Cambodia. It's two more teenage students were killed in Papua. massive floods in Indonesia, and all of these issues are the other 25 issues just on East Asia we covered today. We also cover North Asia, Australasia, and the Pacific and South Asia. So, Bhargav, thank you.
Thank you for the detailed brief, Paul. Businesses can contact us to inquire about our membership services. Our member clients get to ask us questions and request briefs like the one you heard today. We go way beyond the front lines, what you see on a daily basis. Thank you for joining us. You can contact us at info@apacassistance.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Bhargav.